Hey there, Dr. Devon Coughlin here with Revolution Health Center. Today I just want to take a couple minutes to talk to you about strategies to prevent the flu and really any other sickness this fall and winter. So, as you know, all of us are getting hit with the advertisements right now for get the flu shot, get the flu shot, get the flu shot. And I wanted to just, kind of challenge you to think about that a little bit. And the reason why is because there's an independent research firm called the Cochrane Collaboration. It's based in England. And they've actually been researching the effectiveness of the flu vaccine over the last 25 years. And what they found across all populations, whether it be infants, children, adults, and seniors, is that there's 0% effectiveness at preventing deaths, and there's little to no effectiveness at preventing hospitalizations from the flu. And so when you look at those results, even the head of the CDC last year, and really every year you often hear this, they'll say the flu shot was a disaster because the strains in the flu shot didn't match the strains that were circulating around. Let's talk for a second about why that is. The reason why is because the manufacturers of the flu vaccine are trying to predict what strains are going to be coming from the Eastern Hemisphere. And so that's a really impossible task because, as you've heard before, the flu virus constantly mutates. So when it's mutating all the time, they have to make the vaccine well in advance to have enough of them, enough doses readily available. So if they're guessing and they're not getting the right strains, the flu shot is essentially useless. And that's what the head of the CDC was referring to when he said it was a disaster. He said, the strains didn't match, we knew that, but get it anyway because it's the best defense we have against preventing the flu. Now, I would disagree with that statement for a couple reasons. Number one, again, it's been shown to be ineffective and the strains don't match. The other concern is that it's not been shown to be safe. There's something called a Vaccine Adverse Event Reporting System. That acronym is called VAERS. And the number one reason for there being reports of negative effects from a vaccine is for the flu, most commonly causing problems with vaccines. And the reason why is it still contains a full dose of mercury, 25 micrograms of ethyl mercury, which the EPA has said is much too much. Also, it contains aluminum and formaldehyde and other killed viruses and different things that we would just never want to put in our bodies. Recently, the FDA just announced the release. They're now concerned about a condition basically where the shoulder now is becoming infected. There's frozen shoulder. There's all kinds of joint damage from the vaccine going in there. So again, I want to give you 5 recommendations that are actually better options, more effective with no side effects. All right, so let's get into these. The first one is simple. I'm going to challenge you and encourage you to get more sleep. So the first thing we need to do is make sure that we're getting sleep somewhere in the range of 7 to 9 hours. A lot of people are going to say, well, I do okay with 5. But I really want to challenge you to get 8 hours of sleep, on the very, very minimum 7, because your body heals, it repairs at nighttime when you're sleeping, and it's going to be crucial that you get more sleep. If you feel like you're coming down with something, I would try to get 2 to 3 hours extra sleep during that time. Your body needs that. That's how it's going to rest and repair. The second piece of advice I have for you is to make sure that your spine is getting checked regularly by a chiropractor. Chiropractic adjustments have been showing, there's been research on this going back to the 1980s. It actually boosts the performance of our immune system by helping our body make more white blood cells, which are the cells in our immune system that actually go out and kill viruses and bacteria. So number 2, we want to make sure we're getting chiropractic adjustments to boost the performance of our immune system. All right, crucial thing there. Number 3, this is a big one. Coming into this time of year, again, we go into the fall. Everyone thinks of Halloween. I kind of consider this flu season Halloween to Valentine's Day. So you're talking parts of October, November, December, January, into February. So at least every bit of 4 months of the year, we're typically in this part of the year where we're surrounded by sweets and desserts, from the candy at Halloween all the way to the candy at Valentine's Day. We have all the pies, the cakes, the cookies, all these different things that come this time of year. Excuse me, we want to make sure we're decreasing the amount of sugar that we're bringing in our body because sugar always decreases the function of our immune system. So we want to make sure that we decrease the sugar in our diets and make sure that we're eating really healthy. So, bear with me here. If you think about 4 months of the year, that's a third of your year. Now, the Harvard research, even the Bible talks about how human beings have the capacity to live 120 years in great health. So if you picture a third of every single year, you're eating poorly, you're not sleeping, you're stressed out, your spine and your nerves are under stress, your vitamin D levels are low, which we're going to get to in just a second here, it's no wonder why Americans only live to be 80 years old. So basically a third of their life is lived, in this pattern of lots of stress, again, poor diet choices, all these different things. And we're not living to 120, we're living to 80. Other countries around the world live a lot longer than we do. So again, just something to chew on there. The other thing I would challenge you to do, I'm not saying never have desserts or any sugars or anything like that, but what if we decided, okay, with each holiday, we're gonna have 2 days. Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. The Thanksgiving Day, the day after. Again, Halloween, the day after. If you're gonna have 2 days each holiday, so instead of it being 4 months, it's about 8 to 10 days that you're gonna be having some vacation meals and things like that and having some sweets, no big deal. I'd rather do 8 to 10 days than 4 months, right? The next one here we wanna do is we wanna make sure that we're helping our immune system, and I have 2 recommendations for that. There's 2 supplements. One's called IMMUPLEX, the other one is called CONGAPLEX. These are supplements from a company called Standard Process. They're a company we work closely with. They make whole food supplements to help support your body. So all the supplements are made from whole foods, and basically they're just supporting your body and boosting its white blood cell activity, boosting its ability to fight bacteria and viruses. All right, those are something that we'd be glad to chat with you about, but again, and you can research this on your own. IMMUPLEX for long-term immunity, and CONGAPLEX for a short-term immune burst when you feel like you're coming down with something. The last thing I want to talk to you about is vitamin D. All right, so vitamin D3 specifically, we want to make sure we have optimized vitamin D levels going into this time of year. Now, the reason why is anyone that lives north of Atlanta, Georgia, come the fall all the way until May, we lose daylight. We lose powerful suns, the sun's rays that actually help our body produce vitamin D. We're inside all the time. The weather's cold. We're wearing long sleeves. Our vitamin D levels dip. Every single person does, unless you live in Florida for part of the year. So we want to make sure we optimize our vitamin D levels. I'm going to recommend that you get 5,000 IUs a day at a minimum. Some people need more than that, but 5,000 IUs a day of vitamin D3 to help keep your vitamin D levels optimized. Now, a lot of people ask me, say, well, what should my levels be overall? Now, if you've ever had your vitamin D levels tested, you'll see that the range actually says, as long as you're over 30, you're in a safe range. And again, I'm going to tell you that's not a good range. Below 30 is a deficiency. But to really have optimized vitamin D levels, we want to be in the 60 to 80 range. All right, so if you're getting your blood work done or you're getting anything checked, get your vitamin D levels checked and make sure you're optimizing them between 60 and 80 of a good high quality vitamin D3. All right, stay tuned for more tips. Make sure you send your friends and family members to revolutionhealthctr.com to get more tips. It's Dr. Devon Coughlin here, and I look forward to sharing some more information with you in the next video.